This is Hannibal here with a boxing news update. The most anticipated boxing match probably since Tyson versus Holyfield, as far as mainstream interest in boxing and your average person on the street being interested in watching boxing, was Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. We did a prediction show on it last night where I said if Tyson couldn't finish him in the first 2 rounds, he wouldn't finish him. But I also said Jake Paul wouldn't finish Tyson. He didn't. He won by decision. Was a very lackluster fight, as expected. You have to admire Mike Tyson, who is 58 years old, did not get knocked out by the 27-year-old Jake Paul. They did kind of goof around the last 10 seconds or so of the fight. It didn't seem like Jake Paul was really trying to finish it. May have been the safe bet there. He knew he'd won. It seemed like Tyson was kind of gassed after the second round. There was a lot of booing. There was a lot of booing when the fight ended. But they both are going to be more. This is arguably the biggest fight Mike Tyson had as far as people talking about Mike Tyson. Do I think there'll ever be another Mike Tyson fight with this much interest? No, I don't think so. Will Jake Paul be able to find an opponent with as much interest as Mike Tyson? No, but this will definitely build his name. He got more famous out of this. Multi-million-dollar sparring session. Well, people were interested in it. Love it or hate it. The real boxing matches are getting little to no interest these days. And a lot of them are taking place in Saudi Arabia and are barely trending, and there's real issues with pay-per-view buys. I don't know how many people watch this on Netflix. I heard there's about 40,000 pre-sold. It looked like a pretty darn full stadium, AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. I've been there before. Huge stadium. But no, there was no ear biting. But if anyone expected differently than this, you really would have had too high expectations. This is exactly what I expected to happen. This is why I didn't buy Netflix for it. I watched it on Twitter. Somebody streamed it on Twitter. They actually hugged at the end, and I mean, they should love each other. They made a lot of money together, and Logan Paul was in the ring at the end too. Logan Paul, who supports the whole disclosure process, but as I said, I would say overall, even though the fight, if anyone expected differently from this fight, you really weren't expecting realistically. You really weren't. It got attention to boxing. It made Tyson and Jake Paul more famous. But a lot of people made a lot of money. I'm sure a lot of people lost more than $20 on the fight. So congratulations to Mike. The one thing I have to say, which I'm impressed, Mike Tyson, decades of drug abuse, and he lasted at 58, 8 rounds with Jake Paul, who may not have been trying his absolute hardest, but he may not have wanted to open himself up as much. Could there have been weird stuff going on behind the scenes? Who knows? The press conference was well put together, but it's entertainment. It's entertainment. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy Netflix for it. I'm glad Mike Tyson didn't get seriously hurt at 58. And yeah, Paul was definitely taking it easy on him. He definitely was. I've heard there was some live streaming issues with Netflix, but really this was the first ever sport. No matter what, this was a historic night, the first ever sporting event to ever air on Netflix. And obviously WWE's jumping over to Netflix in the coming months. All of their pay-per-views, internationally at least, are going to be on Netflix. And I believe the US ones too. So this is a test. It's a historic night. And whatever you think of the quality of the boxing, the boxing fight may not have been entertainment, but you should have expected that. You really should not have expected 1989 Mike Tyson. That's all I got to say.